how do you think market research can change the trajectory of a brand, whether it's emerging and they leverage your tools from the beginning, or whether they're more mature, regional, whatever it is? How can it change the trajectory? And what is the effect that you've seen your research have on some of the brands that you've worked with?
So one of the hardest jobs that franchisors have is to influence their franchisees, right? So as an employer, you can tell your employees what to do, right? Or they can choose to leave or what have you. But franchisors have to convince these small business owners to adopt an idea. Mm-hmm. And that there's often conflict and tension around that, because it might mean investing dollars or changing something that a franchisee thinks is being successful or for them. And so what's really powerful is bringing data and information to that conversation. And so on the positive side, what market research has done for franchisors is to bring franchisees and franchisors together on a decision. And sometimes that decision is the franchisor is absolutely right, and all of the data supports what they're trying to do with the franchise system, and franchisees can get on board. I've been a part of conversations with franchise advisory councils where the eyeballs of franchisees are opening up and they're like, wow, I did not know that. On the other side, it also can help franchisors say, oh, really great idea, but the data actually doesn't support it. On the negative side, so research doesn't always say good things.
Yeah, or validate what you're looking for.
Exactly. On the negative side, I would say this is more related to franchisors who are selling their business. When we've been hired by private equity firms, and the due diligence research that we've done on their behalf has led to either a reduced valuation or a PE firm deciding not to buy. So research has lots of different outcomes and can change the trajectory of a brand.
But it's important to be able to be in front of that. I thought of multiple examples from just my dealings with franchise brands and working with advisory councils, and being able to bring a different level of data. And that's just so powerful. Is there anything that you would like to add to that on the trajectory and how you've seen it affect some clients that you work with?
Just a brand reputation comment. Frandata has built its entire business around objectivity. And where objectivity comes into play in this particular discussion, as it relates to franchisees, is our reputation of saying, we're not telling you what we think the world is doing, we're telling you what the world is. And that difference is what allows a franchisor, if they're dealing with change with the franchisee system that they're trying to move to a different point, brings objective perspective that is a validation of what is really happening from the outside, not from somebody trying to influence behavior inside. Mm-hmm. And the same thing holds true overall, and we've built that reputation. We stick our chin out on that reputation. The Forbes best and worst list. It's not just identifying the best under a set of criteria, but also those that are really not getting it right. And that type of reputation plays well to this type of topic of how do you change the trajectory of a franchise system? Well, you get correct perspective. You reduce the biases of what you think is happening and understand what really is happening, and that helps influence behavior.